If you've been following our Routine Refresh series, you've already learned about the power of daily habits and how to create an evening routine that sets you up for success. Today, we're going to be focusing on what many successful people consider their most critical part of their day. That's right, the morning routine. But we want to address some important things before we dive into the importance of a morning routine. This is not about forcing yourself to wake up at 4 a.m. if you're not a morning person. And it's definitely not about following some guru's exact routine for the morning. And this video is definitely not about packing your morning so full of activities that you're exhausted before your day even begins. What this video is going to be about is identifying essential morning practices that science has proven make the biggest impact on your productivity, well-being, and long-term success. And then adapting all that information into something that works for your life. So that means in today's video, we'll be breaking down 5 non-negotiable morning habits shared by high performers across industries that will be showing you exactly how to implement them regardless of your schedule. So let's master our mornings together. Welcome back to the Euphony Within channel. My name is Dara and I'm a certified wellness practitioner. On this channel, we like to discuss the ways to achieve the mindset that allows us to reach the ultimate level of happiness. How, you might ask? Through happier, healthier living, of course. If that sounds like you, be sure to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more uplifting content around personal development, life balance, and all things health and wellness. All right, let's jump into the science of mornings, shall we? It might surprise you to learn that there are neurological reasons why mornings are a prime time for daily habit formation and productivity. When we first wake up, our prefrontal cortex, aka the brain center for decision-making and willpower, is at its freshest. So it's like, woohoo, let's do this. We got the day ahead of us. Let's go. Mostly because we haven't depleted our mental energy yet. Additionally, our brains produce a higher level of cortisol in the morning, which, contrary to popular belief, isn't just a stress hormone. In appropriate amounts, morning cortisol provides the energy and focus we need to tackle important tasks. The brain creates what's called the golden hour, a window for heightened focus and reduced distractibility that, when leveraged correctly, can help direct the rest of our day. Studies from the Journal of Neuroscience have found that habits practiced during this window are more likely to stick long-term. Complex problem-solving activities done in the morning yield better results than the same activity done later in the day. Now, that does not mean to force yourself to do everything first in the morning because of the golden hour and it'll make you more productive. What it does mean is to be intentional and selective about what you choose to do during those times where our focus and energy are more alert during that golden hour. Now let's break down the 5 morning habits that make the biggest impact. The first habit is going to be hydration and physical activity. I know, probably not what you wanted to hear, but we're going off of highly successful people. The first non-negotiable is proper hydration and moving our bodies in the morning. During sleep, you typically get 7 to 8 hours without any water, unless you're one of those rare unicorn breeds who keep water by their bed and just wake up and drink water in their sleep without even realizing it. And going that long without water leaves you in a state of dehydration. Research shows that even 1 to 2% dehydration can impair cognitive function up to 30%. I know, water is important, right? So when it comes to hydration, you can start off with 16 to 20 ounces of water. It can be room temperature. You want to drink that within the first 15 minutes of waking up. For additional benefits, you can try squeezing some lemon in there to help with waking up our digestive system. And a little bit of lemon can also provide a little bit of vitamin C. If you're not a lemon person, you could also do a little bit of orange or lime. If you're not big on squeezing things first thing in the morning when you're super tired, you can also buy those Truly lemon packets. They're just dehydrated lemon. They make a citrus one and they also make a lime one as well as the lemon one. And those are things that you could just add in there, stir it even the night before, and keep it by the bed for in the morning. When it comes to physical activation or moving the body, that doesn't mean an intense workout. Though that does work for some people, it means moving your body enough to increase blood flow to your brain and muscles, to boost metabolism, and it also means to release positive neurochemicals like endorphins. If you're looking to have a routine, it can be very simple. Stretching, you can do some arm circles, or you can find a little short 5-minute yoga or stretching routine video that can really help with just, again, waking the body up. And there's a whole plethora of videos on YouTube you are more than welcome to check out. Or if you prefer, you can go for a little short 5-minute walk. Depending on how long your driveway is, you can just go up and down the driveway a few times. Or you can make circles around the house. Whatever works for you, just to kind of get moving a little bit. If you have stairs, those can be an awesome way of warming up the body too, just walking up and down a few times. Again, 5 minutes is all you need to really kind of just start waking up the body. And this really helps with the way the rest of your day goes. I've had several clients who have found the simple act of hydration and moving their body really helped with that brain fog in the morning. And I actually find that they don't need caffeine until like maybe later on in the day versus having it just when they get up. So it really helps with providing sustainable energy that's not necessarily caffeinated as well. Okay, our second non-negotiable habit when it comes to high performers would be intentionally setting your mental state for the day. This is about taking control of your thoughts before external influences such as emails, the news, or social media take over your thoughts and start to control it for you. And so when you can take time to really get into a mental state of connecting with you, what your own thoughts and ideas are, it can really help with setting the tone for the rest of the day because you've checked in with yourself and how you're feeling about certain things. And also to kind of disconnect from the negativity a lot of times. In our evening routine, we talked about a digital detox. And so that kind of carries over into the morning. The longer you can kind of go before you start getting connected into social media and emails, texts, and that kind of stuff, if you can take a moment to just really set your tone for the day and your mental state for the day, it's a game changer for how the rest of the day goes. So we'll talk about a few things that high performers consistently do to help with that mindset prepping for the day. One of the first ones is going to be meditation or breath work. Again, it really kind of connects us into our body and really how we're presently feeling. And research from Harvard shows that 5 minutes of meditation can reduce activity in your amygdala, which is the brain's stress center, while increasing activity in regions responsible for focus and emotional regulation. So meditation can be a lot of different things, but one of the things you can do is listening to affirmations can be a form of meditation. It can also be breath work where you're sitting still and just breathing in deeply for 4 counts, holding for 1 second, exhaling for 6, and repeating that for about 3 minutes can be just something very simple and short that, again, really primes your mindset for the day because you're not jumping into emails and what other people think, and your day kind of starts out wild and haywire and being pulled in multiple directions versus if you really focus on that mindset prepping when it comes to the meditation or breath work, that can really help with bringing in focus and clarity so that your brain kind of sharpens like it talked about, where it really helps reduce the brain's stress center, which really helps with that focus and being able to regulate your emotions throughout the day because our emotions can change quite frequently. So this is a really great tool that, again, high performing people in all industries use. Another quick thing that you can kind of do for mentally prepping for the day is if you're a journaler, you can really just write a quick session of what you would like to see your day look like, or maybe how you're feeling about the day. If you're kind of anxious about anything, how you would like to see that go that day, which will lead into our third one here in just a minute. And sometimes just taking that minute to really kind of check in. A quick journaling session helps process lingering thoughts and helps you to focus your intentions for the day, especially when we're talking about, again, mindset prepping here. The next mindset prepping habit for high achievers would be visualization. Olympic athletes have used visualization for decades to improve their performance. If you can spend just 2 to 3 minutes mentally rehearsing, successfully navigating your day, it can be a game changer because you've already thought about it ahead of time and how you would respond to it. And it kind of frees you up so no matter what happens, you're already prepared for it because you've thought about it in all the different ways that it could happen. The beauty of mindset priming is that it takes very minimal time. It provides lasting benefits throughout the whole rest of your day. All right, our third non-negotiable item is aligning your day with your larger goals and priorities before getting caught up in a reactive cycle of responding to others' needs. Now, again, this is really about thinking about what's priorities and really focusing your time and what's the best use of your time. Is it the delegation? Is it, okay, maybe I don't need to respond to this person's email right now. I'll respond to them within the next 24 hours. It's really learning to problem solve and strategically place your focus and your energy in the places where it should be. And this is a huge game changer, non-negotiable item for people who are high performers because they really understand the value of their time and they're willing to set the boundaries needed in order to respect that time. Performers don't just create to-do lists, they create focused action plans. And here's the exact process. One is identify your top 3 priorities for the day, not 10, just 3. Second, they schedule specific time blocks for these priorities. And again, really focus on those time blocks. They review their larger weekly and monthly goals to ensure that everything's in alignment. They're not getting off course, they're staying focused, and they recognize where the finish line is. They're not taking all types of dips, turns, and tricks and sideways to where they don't finish because they tire out. They really focus to make sure that things are in alignment. And fourth, they identify potential obstacles and create contingency plans. I really think that this is underrated, but a contingency plan, a plan B, C, D, E, F, all the way down to Z, is incredibly important because you can have the best intentions, the best action plan, and have thought that you planned for everything, and then something comes up out of nowhere, and you're like, oh. But if you have a contingency plan, that can really help with continuing to stay in alignment and moving towards your goals and what you would like to accomplish. So again, these are the 4 ways that top performers really stay focused on creating action plans to achieve their goals and what they would like in life, which ultimately leads to more life satisfaction and feeling better about themselves. It actually boosts your confidence, which is really great because a lot of us, when we struggle with routines, we can feel bad because we're not showing up for ourselves. But when you're really focused, like these top performing habits are, it really helps you start to build trust and confidence in yourself that you are showing up for yourself. Now, again, it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be some big, lofty goal. We can start with baby steps, but that's a whole other topic that we started when we talked about the 12 weeks, changing your life. And that video is in the series that's linked to this one. So if you haven't watched it, be sure to go check it out. The things that we're talking about take just about 5 to 7 minutes, but they can dramatically increase your likelihood of making meaningful progress that actually matters. I'm going to read this one little thing to you, make sure that I don't miss it here. There is research at the Harvard Business School that found that a sense of progress on meaningful work is the single most powerful motivator in professional settings, more than recognition, incentives, or clear goals. By planning strategically, you're setting yourself up for this powerful motivational force to work in your favor all day long. So the fourth non-negotiable is fueling your body for energy as well as cognitive function. What you eat in the first hour of waking up directly impacts your energy levels, focus, and even mood stability throughout the day. Yet many people skip their breakfast entirely, or they choose options that create energy crashes within a few hours. Now, I will say we've all been guilty of this, right? So let's talk about what some optimal breakfast options would include. One, they would include protein, about 15 to 30 grams to stabilize blood sugar and support neurotransmitter productions. Healthy fats for sustainable energy and brain function. It would also include complex carbohydrates. This is optional depending on your needs and preferences. And then hydration. We talked about this as the very first non negotiable, in addition to your water upon waking up. This would be what an optimal morning fuel would look like. So let's break down 3-minute breakfast ideas that meet these criteria. One would be Greek yogurt with a handful of nuts and berries. You could do a little bit of granola there too. A hard-boiled egg prepared the night before with avocado toast. A protein smoothie with spinach, almond butter, and banana. Now you can mix these the way you would like, but these are just 3 simple, quick breakfasts that can really help fuel your day, as well as really help with your brain function. It's important to remember your morning nutrition doesn't need to be complicated or time consuming. It really just needs to support your energy needs until your next meal. The 5th non-negotiable habit that separates high achievers from average achievers is dedicating time to personal growth before the demands of the day take over. This can look differently for a lot of people, but growth doesn't require hours of studying. Even just 10 to 15 minutes of focused learning can compound dramatically over time. Here are some things that show that. Reading 10 pages daily equals 3,650 pages per year, approximately 12 to 15 books. Listening to educational content at 1.5 speed for 15 minutes equals roughly 50 books of knowledge per year. And then practicing a skill for 15 minutes daily provides over 90 hours of deliberate practice annually. So high performers really focus on personal growth because they understand that their personal and professional growth directly impacts every other aspect of their life. This could be from things like reading a physical book to using audio learning while getting ready, completing a lesson in a skill building app such as Skillshare, or practicing a language for a few minutes a day. These are all things that you can do to help demonstrate and improve your personal growth. Again, that really helps with every area of your life. The key is choosing content that aligns with your goals and learning style, then protecting this time as a non-negotiable part of your morning. Now, again, even something as simple as listening to people that you admire, something like Audible or listening to podcasts. These are all things that you can be doing to improve yourself and your skill sets and your growth, that you can be doing, again, not for very long in the morning, 10 to 15 minutes. You can do it on your way to work. You can do it while you're getting ready. I mean, you can listen to it while you're taking a shower in the morning, getting ready for the day, making breakfasts, anything like that. If you're the type of person that needs to be doing something while you're learning, if you're like me, I'm a visual learner and I need focus and a notebook to really take notes, you can do that within the first few minutes of your day before anyone else gets up. And that's been something that's really nice that helps with heading towards your goals in life, which is, not everyone's willing to do that. And so sometimes that time really kind of helps you stay grounded and focused on what your goals are and not necessarily what everyone else's are around you or everyone else's lack of goal around you as well, which is no shade to them. Sometimes you have to go with the motivation that you're feeling in that moment. And the way that you can do that without others being motivated around you is by taking that time when you first get up in the morning to really help with your motivation levels and that focus time to be a high achiever or even just an average achiever. But these types of practices really help with all achievements. Now let's talk about customization, shall we? For parents of younger children, you can look at waking up 30 minutes before your children to prioritize hydration and mindset priming. Involve children, and you can involve your children in appropriate parts of your routine, like morning movement. And you can use audio learning during commutes or while preparing breakfast. For those of you who might be on night shift, you can use the principles and apply it to your morning whenever that occurs. And you can focus on the sequence of activities rather than specific times. And you'll also want to pay extra attention to light exposure to help regulate your circadian rhythms. And for those of you with minimal time, even 15 minutes can incorporate shortened versions of all 5 of these components. Stack habits like listening to an educational content during your movement time, prepare the night before to eliminate morning decisions. The key is finding what works for your life while maintaining the core principles we've discussed in this video. Let's put this all together in a real-time walkthrough of how these 5 components can fit into a realistic morning routine. 6 a.m., you wake up and don't check your phone yet. From 6 a.m. to 6:15, focus on hydration and completing a 5-minute movement routine. So that's the stretching, getting in your first, 12 to 16 ounces of water. 6:15 to 6:25 a.m. is mindset prepping. You focus on your 5-minute meditations or 5-minute journaling or your 5 minutes of affirmation. Get your mindset for the rest of the day. Then you can spend 6:25 to 6:35 strategically planning for the day, really making sure you're focused on your priorities for that day. 6:35 to 6:50, you can prepare and eat breakfast. 6:50 to 7:05, you can spend time for personal growth, such as reading, learning, or skill practicing. And then 7:05, you can begin your regular morning responsibilities. That's a complete routine for just over an hour. For those with a tighter schedule, here's what a 30-minute routine would look like. 6 a.m. would be wake up and hydrate. 6:10, combined movement and breath work. 6:10 to 6:15, a quick journaling or day planning. 6:15 to 6:25, a nutritious breakfast. Again, we talked about in the evening routines, you can make this ahead of time. And then 6:25 to 6:30, a short learning activity or an audiobook while getting ready. Again, doesn't have to be all or nothing, just something shortened version, whatever that looks like for you. Because basically, the exact timing of this will vary on your priorities and schedule, but this framework ensures that you're hitting all 5 essential components in an effective way. Now that you understand the science and structure of an effective morning routine, you might be wondering how to implement these practices consistently in your own life. Well, that's exactly why I've created the 14-day routine refresh. It's a free email series that comes straight to your inbox and breaks down the process of building a routine and gives you support throughout the 14 days of working through what that routine looks like for you. We'll look at your current habits, what's working, what's not working. We'll talk about what your dream routine would be, and then we'll break them down into small, manageable daily tasks that can really help you with jumpstarting a new routine or refreshing the one that you currently have. The link is in the description below, so feel free to click that. Again, it's free. And it's really just my way of saying hello, and I am happy to help you on your routine. The link is in the description below. We've gotten a lot of good feedback from it, so be sure to get your free 14-day email series sent right to your inbox. And if you feel like you need something even more personalized, I do have one-on-one coaching that's offered as well. That link is also below. All right, next week, be sure to tune in for our last video of this series, where we'll talk about how to maintain routines in the midst of chaotic times. This is something that's very, very common. We'll go through how to maintain your new routines in the midst of chaotic times, how to stay focused and energized and motivated while also keeping your well-being at the forefront of your mind. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe and share with a friend if you'd like. Let me know in the comments how your morning routine is going and if there are any tips that you got from this that you're planning on implementing. Remember, your morning routine isn't about doing more, it's about doing things that matter and help with sustaining your energy. And when you consistently prioritize 5 non-negotiable components, you're setting yourself up to perform at your highest level throughout the day. With that, thanks for watching, and remember, you're not alone, and while the sun may not be shining today or tomorrow, it will come out again. I'll see you guys soon.